My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Hearthstone Arena. I should probably explain off the top of this episode. This episode is recorded a little late. This episode is being recorded on Sunday evening when this is supposed to be up on Monday morning, so this episode might be up a little late, but at the same rate, it's being recorded after a night, or at the very least a dinner, of drinking absolutely astonishingly bad wheat beer. Which is not to say the beer was bad and I'm annoyed, but to say that the beer was bad and I'm annoyed at the fact that I continued to drink a lot of it. So, if you're looking for high-tier play, this probably isn't the episode for you. Hell, this probably isn't even the channel for you. But if you're looking for someone who is enjoyably playing a game that they love, yo, don't worry, I got you on lock, buddy. Let's take Rogue. I feel like I got the balls enough for Rogue. I got 14 in my sack at the moment, so let's go down with Sunwalker because the rest of those are horrible. Goblin Auto Barber literally makes opponents play around it because it's so amazing. Ironfur Grizzly is not amazing as the 3-drop, but the Clockwork Goblin against certain classes can be amazing as a 1-drop. So I'm actually going to take it for that reason. I'll take a Deadly Poison, of course. Making my weapon better is almost always amazing. Chillwind Yeti breaks the mana curve, power curve for where it currently is. So there was a huge problem that that Blizzard ran into in design philosophy, that is. So you've got 1 mana 1/2, a 2 mana 2/3, a 3 mana 3/4. They didn't want to include that into the game, by the way. They didn't want to include a Spider Tank in, at least in the initial phases of the game. And then a 4 mana 4/5. Notice there's not a 5 mana 5/6. There is not a 5 mana 5/6 in this entire video game. 6 mana 6/7, 7 mana 7/8. There's not a 7/8 in this game, although arguably Dr. Boom is better than the 7/8. It's a 7/7 with 2 1/1s that have Death Rattle. 8 mana 8/9. I don't believe there is one in this game, and then the curve kind of goes off to legendaries and then special summons there. The important thing is they wanted to stay away from having just a standard kind of allotment of slots on, of stats on each slot. And the reason is because it could result in a meta where someone plays a 2 mana 2/3, the opponent obviously having 1 more mana crystal, right? Because the first opponent goes obviously first. They don't get the coin, but they do get an extra mana crystal. Plays a 3/4 in response, which kills the 2/3. And then the opponent plays a 4/5 in response. And you end up just, the opponent doesn't play a 4/5 in response because obviously they don't have the mana for that. They play a 3 mana in response, and then the opponent can kind of constantly just one-up them by playing a more powerful minion than the opponent can possibly deal with in their turn. And that's why the inclusion of the Spider Tank was so contentious at the time. Apparently, at the very least within Blizzard, this is what I've heard. Obviously, it hasn't resulted in that because we've ended up with more technical play where someone will, instead of playing like a super strong 3-drop, will opt to play a 1 mana removal and a 2-drop. Or, enablers, or just things that kind of fuck the curve at that point so that they can put themselves further ahead than they would by just playing a card that is naturally stronger than the opponent's card on curve. By the way, I'm just going to take a Shattered Sun Cleric. It has nothing to do with anything I was saying. I just really like the Shattered Sun Cleric. Shattered Sun Cleric. Abusive Sergeant is the only one of these naturally useful and it doesn't generate negative card value in a deck. I'll take Lost Tall Strider because the other 2 are horribly overcosted for the things that they do. All of these are pretty bad, except I do have 2 mechs, so maybe the Cogmaster might not be horrible. Stampede and Kodo is pretty damn good. Just an immediate removal. I will take the first Assassinate that I'm offered. The second Assassinate is not going to be as highly valued, I guess. I'll take a Sprint for the late game. The second Sprint, again, not going to be as highly valued. A Pilot to Shredder, I really, really like, but the thing is, 4 drops are not that difficult to come by, whereas 3... do I really believe that? Sorry, the 4 drops are not that difficult to come by, whereas 3 drops are relatively difficult to find a really, really good one. So you kind of want to stack on all of the good 3s when you get offered them, whereas 4s... But the Pilot to Shredder is so much... the Pilot to Shredder is too much better than the Spider Tank. Just having another body is so good. Anubar. So if I'm going to have an early game that's relatively packed, Anabar is probably going to bounce something back to my hand, but that's only if I have like really impactful 3-drop minions, because before that I'm probably trading. Okay. I think I'd feel a little bit worse about this decision if I had a Spider Tank, whereas if I bounce a Shattered Sun Cleric back to my hand, at worst, I'm just getting +1/+1 stats, but I'm also having negative card value. It's not that bad. I'll get the next Shattered Sun Cleric. Ogre Brute over Deadly Poison. Deadly Poison's removal, Ogre Brute is a strong 3-drop. I don't know if I can ignore a strong 3-drop right now. With only 2 good 3-drops in my deck. I want to have 4 to 5 good 3-drops in my deck. I'm halfway through the draft and I've got 2. Yeah, I'll take the Ogre Brute. If I had a weapon rather than just my, hero power dagger up, if I had another weapon, I probably would have taken the Deadly Poison, actually. Ironbeak Owl for a silence or Lord of the Arena. So this I feel like is going to be a mature decision on my part. Lord of the Arena is 5 health, right? It's undercosted. Sorry, it's overcosted in terms of its health stat, right? 5 health for a 6-drop minion? Yeah, not good enough. But, as I've said so many times in this series, 4 health is the most common, well, 4 health and lower is the most common way that you can kill something, right? You've got, all of your 4 health removals, which are Shadowbolt, Soulfire, you've got Truce of a Champion, you've got an innumerable amount of things that I aren't thinking about. That I am not thinking about at the moment because I don't brain. 5 is a lot harder to come by than 4. 4 is a little bit harder to come by 3, and then, it goes down from there. So I feel like Lord of the Arena might actually be the secure choice here. You take something to kind of like protect your health in late game. I've got a Sunwalker already to do that. I've got Lord of the Arena that would also be doing that, because in the early game I'd be aggressively trading my health away with the Deadly Poison. I feel like that's actually the correct decision. Gang Up gets more of a minion in my deck, which is really cool, except for the fact that it only really matters when you are drawing the last 3 cards of your deck. Do you get what I mean? Like, up until the point where the last 3 cards in my deck make a difference, variance holds, at the very least in an arena deck, that it's not making that much difference. It's much better for combo decks in, say, ranked. If I were doing like a mill combo deck, it's much better, because then you are worrying about the last 3 cards in your deck, and you are worrying about getting extra kind of single minions that you wouldn't be able to get, obviously, with the limit of 2 per in ranked. Silence is also a relatively strong thing, but I think I need to focus on getting stronger 2s than that. We have a problem. Oh, we have a problem. All of my minions suck. I'll take a Wisp. What if I summon a 1/1 and then a 3/2, making that a 2/2 on turn 3? I think I actually have to take the Wisp, because the other ones cost something and are not impactful. Cultmaster may help me with the draw, considering I have 3 1-drops, and I need a lot more 2-drops, but I don't think I can take another Lord of the Arena right now. Mana Wraith is about as effectual as a Young Priestess, because it'll put me behind in mana as well, so putting down a Mana Wraith means that I miss my 3-drop, I have to play another 2-drop next turn, and I don't have another 2-drop. So, Young Priestess, yeah. This is not good. We are not getting 2-drops. I mean, we've got 1 2-drop offered to us. I'm sure there's been another 2-drop or something that I've, picked a different card over. But we've had 5 picks now since I've been very, very wary of my 2-drop slot where I've just not been offered one. I'll take Von Cutting Drake because I'll probably be trading very aggressively with my early game board. Yep, Haunted Creeper. That's going to be really powerful considering the Shattered Sun. Neither of these are amazing, so I will take a Direwolf Alpha, although it's only 2/2 in stats. Southsea Deckhand is actually probably going to be charged the majority of the time that I cast it. So that is worth noting. It is basically a Bluegill Warrior for 1 mana. Which is not that bad. That's a 1 mana 2 damage spell. Although it does cost me a card. It can get an extra buff by running out next to the Direwolf Alpha. Can draw a card from the Cult Master. It hasn't got enough synergistic value. It makes the Volcanic Drake cost 1 less. How many 4-drops have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not counting the Cult Master because it's not independently strong. Spellbreaker? I think it actually might be Spellbreaker. Spellbreak my own Anabar, Spellbreak my own Ogre Brute, but in other cases I Spellbreak the opponent's taunts so that I can attack through with a more aggressive early. I want to take the Worgen Infiltrator, but I do have early game plays, even though this is an early game play that is safe against 1 mana ping classes. Sorry, 2 mana ping classes. I'll take the Silverhand Knight. That's a deadly poison. There's like no contest in that. That's a Dark Iron Skulker, because it's just a really powerful card. Spiteful Smith versus Stranglethorn. If I were any class except for Rogue, it wouldn't be Spiteful Smith, but since I am the Rogue, it's Spiteful Smith, because you can effectively choose when you want to activate the Spiteful Smith, and then when you want to get a +2 weapon buff. Basically, you're putting a deadly poison on your weapon for free. Ogre Brute in the early game, or Zombie Chow in the early game. So I got a fair number of 1-drop picks. The reason that Zombie Chow is so important, right, even though I have all of these 1-drops, is because unlike the Worgen Infiltrator, which is a 1-drop that is relatively important, unlike the Worgen Infiltrator, if I buff the Zombie Chow, say I play the Zombie Chow on turn 1, and then I coin out a Shattered Sun Cleric following it, right, which is not a super uncommon play. I do have 2 Shattered Suns. It becomes a 3/4, which kills a 2/3, or a 3/2 and lives. Whereas a Worgen Infiltrator becomes a 3/2 and it dies to both a 2/3 and a 3/2. The really important thing about living against a 3/2 or a 2/3 means that your opponent cannot make a play on turn 3 without sacrificing it also to your Zombie Chow, especially considering I have a hero power that can finish it off if my opponent plays something with 4 health. So it's so much better than it looks because of the fact that we have Shattered Sun in our deck. Even though I want to round out my 3-drop slot, Zombie Chow might be even better. But at the same rate, if I'm running an aggressive deck, do I really want to run anything in my deck that might heal my opponent at any point? Yeah, no, I haven't got enough early game. I'm probably going to have to really hope that I end up going on turn 2 and then have my 1-drops carry me through. Yeah, no, it needs to be Zombie Chow because I don't have enough 2-drops that are amazing. Illuminator is never going to be that powerful for me. One-Eyed Cheat, I have no activators for. I didn't pick up the Silverhand Recruit. Yeah, no activators for. I'll take Oka Ninja. It's really good stats-wise. 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy really isn't that bad when you consider it also has stealth, which basically balances out the 50% chance, because it can't be removed before it makes its first attack, or it's very difficult to remove it before it makes its first attack. This isn't that bad of a deck. The amount of times that we're going to have to dagger up on turn 2 and then hope to play shit like a 1-drop and Deadly Poison on turn 3 it's sickening. We just need either a really good... I mean, like, we have 3 2-drops and 3 3-drops, right? Past that point, we're in real good land, right? Enough 4-drops, we've got enough 5-drops, we've got also really good variety in them. We've got the ability to Spellbreak, we've got the ability to Assassinate, we've got the ability for wide board clear, we've got the ability to set up lethal, we've got the ability to set up a much more powerful dagger, we've got kind of like situational removal, we've even got sprint, we've got an easier to play card depending on the amount of cards we've traded. We've got a really good deck past 3 mana. If I could, the way that I would want to fix this deck is if I could trade like half of my 1-drops, so that would probably be Wisp, Clockwork Gnome, and Cogmaster. I would probably trade those all for two 2-drops and a 1-drop. Right? Because then I would still have Abusive Sergeant, I would still have Clockwork Gnome, Young Priestess, and Zombie Chow as my 1-drops. Nah, trade Zombie Priestess, Young Priestess as well. I'd have 3 1-drops plus the 2 Deadly Poisons, and then I would have 3 more 2-drops, and I would have 1 more 3-drop, and then I would be absolutely happy with this deck. However, I'm not also that sad. I'm definitely not sad that I have 1-drops, for the reason that the Goblin Auto Barber cannot be played, obviously, unless you've coined out your hero power on turn 1. Cannot be played until turn 3, if you want to get the power from it. Goblin Auto Barber being a 3/2 mech that gives +1 attack to your weapon. So that means that on turn 2, you create a weapon, turn 3, you drop a 3/2, right? You're floating a mana. However, I've got so many 1-drops that I might not actually be floating that mana after all. This is one of the worst matchups I'm going to have, because my opponent can kill my 1-drop without actually using their face to do it. But they can also kill my 1-drop, which is really, really tragic. I might have to play a 1-drop even if I get it, just to force them to try and kill it, I guess. That was if I got a 3/2. Sorry, a 2/1. Cogmaster, obviously, I'm just going to play because my opponent's not going to ping it unless they're pinging it 2 turns in a row. And if they try and ping it 2 turns in a row, I'll just buff it with the Shattered Sun.
I can fix anything. The pleasure is mine.
The dream here is that my opponent only has 3/2s. Obviously, I don't attack face with the weapon because I need the durability on it early, rather more than I need the damage to the face. I'd like to note at this point that I think it's relatively admirable that I've been able to make the majority of the time decent sense, although I know that sentence didn't make grammatical sense, despite the beer. It's been a long time since I've had a good beer. And even though it was a really bad beer, I had a good amount of it, which made it good. So hitting that with my weapon and hitting that with the Cogmaster would be effectually exactly the same.
I'll fix you.
I mean, play the Haunted Creeper attack? No. I can buff it, but then I sacrifice the Shattered Sun only to end up with a 3/1 on the board.
I'll fix you.
No. I feel like that's correct. I don't need to trigger that yet. Top decking, obviously Lost Tall Strider is a way worse card to play right now, because it dies to the Jungle Panther, allowing the Jungle Panther to trade up severely, whereas now the Jungle Panther hitting any of my creatures is a trade down or a cross, right? A 4/2 for a 3/2, but a 3/2 that has already used its value, that's a trade down. Trading over here, still a trade down. Actually, it trades down no matter what way it goes, whereas Lost Tall Strider just allows that to get value. There's not that many cards that my opponent can play right now that I'm super scared of. I mean, the worst would be Coin... I want to say probably Coin Stampeding Kodo. Would make me the saddest. Really? Are you going to go a 4/2 into a 1/1 as well? To the face? Are you fucking mad? What is wrong with you? I love it. Just don't contest the board at all. I love it. It's my favorite game plan of all time. My opponent is planning to lose, which means that they're planning for me to win. I mean, just like Logic 101 will tell you that. Don't fireball it. Oh, you polymorphed it. Arcane Missiles? Ah, Coin Ping. Yeah, still not that bad. Okay. Okay.
Your magic shall not save you.
I'm gonna force my opponent to spend 2 mana that next turn to try and remove my sheep. Also, since they use the coin that turn, I know that they don't have the ability to coin Flame Strike this turn. I also know that they don't have... no, I just don't. I know they can't coin Flame Strike this turn. I was about to say it might give me a bit of an inkling like a read on whether or not they have Cone of Cold or whether they have Blizzard, but it doesn't really give me that reliable of a read because they still wouldn't have removed the 4/6 with it. So yeah, they totally wouldn't have even done that. Ignore me. Watch the game down there. It's much more interesting. I'll watch it with you. That card, really? What card was it? Oh shit, that card, really? I mean, we can probably power spike on this turn a little. And that would play a 4 mana or a 3 mana card.
I wonder. We must cleanse the Sunwell. Push forward. Here we go.
So I buffed the 2/2 so that it's out of range of the Fire Blast. I also buffed it so it's out of range of Cone of Cold. I played the Chillwind Yeti over the Lost Tall Strider so that it doesn't get Flamestruck and removed. And I traded with my health and the 3/2 because my health is not that important right now, and this leaves me with more stats on fields. My health is not the statistic I'm super worried about right now. My opponent's health is the only statistic I'm worried about right now. See how they can't remove this because I gave it the buff? And if I did the trade in the other way, I would have had a 3 mana minion here. Sorry, 3 health minion here, so it would be 3/3/2, which would only be 8. Whereas now I have 9, 10, 12. I can't actually draw lethal this turn. Because it would require me... Oh, actually I could. No, I don't have enough mana, of course.
Die, mage.
Push forward. Here we go.
I don't need to play anything right now. The worst thing my opponent can do for me is Flame Strike the board, but then they only have 1 mana to respond. So unless they're going to play a 1 mana taunt, they're not going to play a 1 mana taunt. They're kind of fucked. Hero Power, Goblin Auto Barber becomes 2 damage to the face, and then they need to taunt up the next turn. Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah, they're dead on board already. Even, it's worth noting that even if they didn't try and play the 4 mana Water Elemental, pinging the 2/1 would not have saved them. Obviously, I've got 3/2 on board, and I've got my Hero Power, so I still had lethal on board without that. Every time I play this game, like, with a decent gap between the times that I play it. I mean, the last time I played this was probably, I want to say a week and a half ago, when I recorded the last episode. Every time I play this with a really decent gap in between, I remember why I love this game so much. Because it looks so simple on the outside, but on the inside there are so many things you need to be thinking about. It's beautiful. Is a 4-drop actually amazing for me considering I have the coin? I mean, we'd be coining a 4 into a 4. I do have a number of good 4-drops. I am throwing back a 4-drop right now because I'm looking for the 3 or a 1. Keeping a 4-drop isn't that bad because it's almost impossible that I don't draw something that fixes my curve either by being a 4-drop or by being an early drop. And there's point proven. You better have a 2-drop minion that is a mech. Just for your sake. Yep, well done. You should probably trade though. Opponent's deciding whether or not to trade. Yeah, totally correct. Because if they didn't trade, I could Hero Power, attack that, and then attack that again. My opponent has 1/2. So this might actually give me a read that they don't have another mech in hand, because I would be able to kill that turn, and I would have a 2/2. My opponent would have a 1/2. So they would only be super scared of not trading if they didn't have a 3 mana mech in hand. So I can probably tell that they don't have a Spider Tank. I'm almost certain they don't have a Spider Tank. Hero Power Abusive Sergeant will clear the board. Oh, they have a Micro Machine in the other side of their hands, so, you know, fuck me, I guess. God, I wish I could Stampede and Kodo that.
Here we go.
Now this isn't so bad because my opponent doesn't have an established reinforce on board, so both of these threaten to kill the Micro Machine. This threatens to kill the Micro Machine by popping out 2 1/1s, one of which I could use to kill the Micro Machine, or my Hero Power I could use to kill the Micro Machine. Whereas this obviously just has the damage on board to do it. I wonder if my opponent would... Nah, they can't do it. I was about to say, would they Desperation run this in here and then try and Consecrate to clear the board and keep this alive? But my Hero Power would just kill that. I think I cash in my cards.
So many options.
I mean, I could play Chewing Yeti and then attack. Actually, that is correct.
Here we go.
And I also attack that. Means my opponent can't try and supplement 1 damage on this and then kill this. For free. Yeah, that's fine with me. This stands a decent chance at killing both of these at this rate. If it attacked that, I would have the 1/1 Hero Power to remove that. I'm 1 damage off. If I attacked that last turn, that would have worked. I don't need to get the spare parts this turn. Unless that gave me... Unless it gave me freeze or the +1 attack, which is 25% chance, it's not worth having. So this is the attack that I definitely want to make. And I also don't want to make Consecration super, super good for my opponent. So instead of Hero Power, Goblin Auto Barber, Clockwork Gnome, I probably just want to go Lost Toll Strider. Yeah, I make the Consecration way too powerful for my opponent if I summon the Clockwork Gnome right now. Especially if I went with Clockwork Gnome and Goblin Auto Barber.
Can I help you, sir?
Opponent has to play 2 more cards before they're going to get value for that. Something they need to be super aware of is the fact that I can try and get the first value out of that. So, obviously the first thing I want to do is attack face with this. Yeah. Okay, that was just in case. Okay, so that's going to get buffed. This is Avenge, by the way, obviously. So this would get buffed to a... a 4/6. Which I can kill with my Hero Power plus this. Okay.
Join or die.
Avenge triggers. Redemption.
Choose soon.
I'm sorry, what?
Here we go.
I've desperation put a taunt on that just in case. I have put myself down to a relatively low amount of health, and I would prefer if my opponent didn't just charge my fucking face.
Mind if I roll need?
If that was Avenge, this was the perfect play. Oh, put a shield on it or something. That means I can kill this for free. Oh, okay, they were just wasting it so they can draw cards, okay. I mean, like, still, unless they have board clear, I'm really far ahead.
Here we
At this point, Consecration doesn't kill this, while it does kill these two, so I'm not super afraid of Consecration. Whereas Mind Control tech, I'd already played into by developing the Stampeding Kodo, so it was definitely not a problem for me to develop the Wisp.
They are bend to my command. It's clobbering.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nowhere near lethal. This could give my opponent lethal. That would be funny. I don't want to trade the Lost Horse Rider if at all possible. I also don't want to break my Haunted Creeper. Just in case my opponent does have Consecrate. So I'll freeze you. And then develop this as well.
Here we go.
I mean, I already have lethal on board. There's no reason to develop the Cogmaster unless I really don't like winning. Developing the Cogmaster just makes me much more vulnerable against some stupid bullshit that clears my board.
Do you like to play with fire?
Equality?
Get in there and fight, maggot.
Yeah, you don't summon an Abusive Sergeant if you're about to equality. Okay, my opponent's trying to go for Taunt. Yeah, Taunt on one minion.
Well played.
Well played.
Well played.
Done. Okay. We're 2-0 and I forgot to update the scores. I'm having a good time. I hope you're having a good time as well. We can have a good time together. Not like that. That's not how I meant it. I mean that, you know, completely, well, not completely ignoring the rules of good play, but just taking a little bit of a lax position towards them. A recent opponent would like to be your friend. Oh, am I about to get fucking... Am I about to get raged at? Hey. I was about to say, hey man, but I don't know the gender of this person. Hey there. Good game. Was that 12 wins? No, just...
Valera
so far.
Malfurion. Protect the one.
Watch your
See? Nice person! Opponent has a hero power, so this goes back. Coin... Oh, it's 1-0 going into... What did my opponent have in their deck? Was there anything to, like, super respect about their choices? Fuck me.
The
Greetings.
My greetings.
I was really hoping the Direwolf Alpha would buff the Haunted Creeper to a 2-2, which would trade with the 3-2. Oh, my opponent's... Okay, this isn't that bad. This isn't that bad. I have an established 2-2 on board, at least. Especially because now I'll have an established a 2-2 on board when I want to get my Shattered Sun Cleric out. I've used the coin, so I know my opponent can't respond with... Oh, don't claw me. Don't you fucking dare claw me. Do I want to try and sap their mana away? I do.
Here we go.
So this means they have to shapeshift this turn in order to remove this, unless they want to swipe. But that also means they only have 2 mana to respond, which means that most likely since a 2 mana is almost always a 2/3 or a 3/2, most likely what they play will be able to be killed by my Zombie Chow and my Shattered Sun. If not, by my Zombie Chow and my Hero Power, allowing me to generate a Chillwind Yeti. Boom. There's almost no significant mechanical... Oh, shit, there is. There is. I was about to say there's almost no significant mechanical difference right now between Anubar and Chillwind, but the thing is I could buff an Anubar in order to single-handedly kill a Druid of the Claw, which is a 5-drop. Oh, my opponent's probably not going to be super pleased with the fact that I've got a really good response to that.
Here we go.
Oh, it's still the person we versed. I don't know if I want to respond to that right now. I definitely do now. I mean, there's nothing that I lose except for health, I guess. I obviously don't care about my health stat. I never have. I always care about my health stat just a little too late. You know, when it gets to 0, that's when I start caring. Having any amount of health between 1 and 30 doesn't matter. 0. Whoops. Get lethal. Kill this. And then in order to remove my opponent's ability to use Shapeshift to kill this easily, I summon this. Swipe is also still really annoying because it kills the Chillwind Yeti and kills the Ogre Ninja, or it kills this with the Hero Power as well, which costs 6 mana in total. Starfire for the card draw? Yeah, that's kind of bad, because then my opponent Hero Powers and kills the Ogre Ninja. What? Why? Okay. Let it be known I was very tempted to attack face and then Hero Power. But the ability to possibly kill an opponent's minion is probably... An opponent's minion with Taunt is probably too powerful, especially considering I'm playing a Druid who has more minions with Taunt. If they have a Taunt giver, I'm... That's not nice. 10 damage, so 2 damage from the top deck would have won me the game. I didn't get it, but unless my opponent has like the strongest removal turn of all time, I'm probably fine. Or a Defender of Argus. Defender of Argus, Hero Power, attack. Oh no, but then they Hero Power and attack and... Nah, there's nothing they can remove without losing. By the way, guess what? If that was an Anabar Ambusher, it would have bounced this back to the hand and I wouldn't have had lethal.
Well played.
So, hey, look who's retroactively smart. The best time to be smart, retroactively. Oh yeah. 3-0, trashing them. I was about to say trashing those noobs, but then I remembered someone I just versed was watching me and they were very nice. Holy shit! Exodus is in Legend, by the way. Wow. Yo. Congrats on Legends. Exclamation mark. I've spelt Legend wrong. Let's spell that correctly. There we go. Nice. Nice Exodus.
You asked for it. Watch your back.
Okay. That's actually a really good turn 3 play because it kills any opponent's turn 3 play. You know what? Fuck it, I'll keep. If my opponent plays like a 2-1, then I'll play the Haunted Creeper in response. Otherwise, I'll just Hero Power. Oh, but now that's a really good turn 3 play. Don't make me decide. That was the worst hand gesturing of all time. Well, now it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, I can't. I can't do my previous one. Making any more vids for this game. Literally doing that right now. Sorry, something about that tickles me. No reason for me to trade right now. What do you mean making any more vids for this game? I never stopped making, since the start of my channel, I've never stopped making videos for this game. That is the worst. Okay, so here's what happens, right? I never stopped. I've been here the whole time. It's been a week and a half since my last episode that I recorded. It's been 3 days since the last one came out. Kill this. Cone of Cold comes into play next turn, which would... I mean, I guess there's no reason not to generate that this turn, considering how many opponent targets there are to ping. I think they may have meant ranked, which isn't starting back up yet. God damn it. Opponent TC 130ing. TC 130ing, good work, Ryan. TC 130ing and mental dislocating my minion away. Okay, so I have to remember that one of the cards in their hand is a spare part. Well, still awesome. Okay, apparently this person did not know I was still making arena videos. Exodus, guess what? I've got good news. I never stopped, buddy.
We must
alright.
Sunwell.
Here we go. Here we go. Big 50-50. Why would I ever stop going face? I mean, like, my minion knows. My minion knows what to do. Go face forever. Shit, does my minion actually know what to do? My minion knows what to do. Since that miss, there's no reason to trade down in this direction. It's not like my opponent is gonna trade in any direction that makes me really sad, unless they had to coin Flame Strike, but they coined out the 2-3. They coined out the Snow Chugger, so they don't have a coin. Goblin Auto Barber, but I kind of want the surprise damage from it. Also, I'd prefer not to get TC 130 mental dislocated again. Ooh. It's a bit expensive.
Here we go.
Job's done.
We're kind of reverting to a previous board state now. Like I've kind of just passed up turn 1. Now they get to seize the board as the second player, but I have an advantage. It's not card advantage, but it's an advantage nonetheless. Okay, my best play here is probably... Yeah. Little Shredder, Hero Power, Goblin Auto Barber, attack.
Go.
For a second there I was thinking, yeah, I'll Sunwalker for 4 mana. That's a really good idea. I'll Sunwalker for 4 mana, then Hero Power and Goblin Auto Barber, and that's a really good play, Ryan. Good work. Fucking idiot. Ooh, it's a bad polymorph, considering I'm about to play a Sunwalker. If I can kill whatever they play right now with a Wicked Knife, I'll be real happy. Well, now I'm not happy. Because I was planning on being able to use the 3-2 against that. 2 damage to all undamaged enemy minions? Yeah, that's not going to work right now.
Here we go.
Okay, my opponent has used fireballs for removal, so I'm hoping that they don't have that damage for my face. I'm obviously getting into the points where that damage hitting my face would kill me. Oh, it's going to be a fireball.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
That's not a fireball, but it's exactly as intimidating. Unless my opponent plays charge minions, that doesn't actually matter that it's giving a buff right now. So instead I just play super strong minions, yes? Yes.
Here we go.
Ready, sir.
And I have to attack face so that my opponent is scared of my lethal proposition, basically. So that they don't attack my face. I mean, there's like no 4 mana charge that my opponent... Sorry, 4 damage charge that my opponent can summon. Being a mage, obviously. I don't have lethal. So Assassinate removes you. Then Dark Iron Skulker. This thins down my board so that I don't lose to AoE too easily. Versing switch. I don't want to lose to Frostbolt ping ping over a series of 2 turns, so I'll actually trade that and then face.
Here we go.
I mean, like right now it takes Frostbolt ping 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 3 turns, right? This buys me an extra turn against the possibility of Frostbolt.
What you looking at?
Okay, this is not good. I need to be able to remove that or taunt. I can't. So instead I'll silence this. Cult Master, double trade in order to get 2 cards. As well as remove it, which is the only way that I was going to be able to kill that this turn. And then Hero Power attack face. No reason not to summon the Wisp at that point. Einsvei. Okay. I have 10 damage next turn. So the Wisp isn't contributing to lethal in any way. I wouldn't have lethal next turn with it. I wouldn't have lethal next turn without it. I would have lethal 2 turns away without it, and 2 turns away with it. So it's actually not contributing.
Up. Portals online.
Ping in the face tells me my opponent is probably thinking there's another Frostbolt in their deck that they're hoping to top deck. I mean, top deck, sorry. I'll actually go for the card. This doesn't lose me more games than it wins.
Here we go.
Playing this. Did they top dick me? Don't top dick me.
You win.
Well played.
Well played.
They tried their hardest, but they couldn't top dick me. They tried their hardest, but we tried harder. Wink. So we've already got one of our quests complete using this arena as a vessel for doing so. Can we get another quest complete? Oh. I mean, they'll probably both be done in this, right? Destroy 40 minions, so we just need to destroy 3 minions, and then play 3 minions that cost more than 5 mana. We'll have done it. We're versing Shu as well, so I like the odds.
Watch your back.
This is independently strong. This is strong with a follow. This is definitely going back. The Abusive Sergeant is way worse against the possibility of Cruel Taskmaster. This is still okay against 3/2s.
I can fix anything.
If my opponent plays a 2/3, I'm going to be real sad. I probably should have just developed the Young Priestess that turn. Yeah, definitely.
Do you need a blessing?
Here we go. I'll fix you.
So that's going to be 3/3. My opponent's the one with the coin, so they're probably relying on a coin 4 into a 4.
Back to work.
Ah, see? We were right. Not on the coin 4 into 4 front. I was talking shit at that point. I mean, it's,
I'll fix you.
I mean, in the Cruel Taskmaster killing a 2/1 front. I just made myself bleed. Why am I smiling about that? Just get a... There we go. Ooh, Deadly Poison's gonna be real good against that. Guess.
Here we go.
It's just, I was thinking, like, is there any way that I can play a Silverhand Knight instead, but trading 2 minions into that is... Nah. There's no reason to do it. Dear God, I didn't think that was a scab. I thought it was just like, this is gross as hell and I apologize for it. Damn it, Ryan, stop bleeding on camera. You can't let them see you bleed.
Your magic shall not save you.
I mean, like, we're kind of just, like, Shrekking our opponent right now, by which I mean we used our ogre to kill them. That's me high-fiving someone off screen. And also trying to keep it down because there's people in the house that are sleeping. It's almost midnight recording this. Are we seeing the fabled Grim Patron deck?
Here we go.
You know what? There are so many cards in their hand that I don't know that I'm actually going to trade down. And that's very specifically to keep myself safe against Brawl and the TC-130 Mental Dislocator. Did you just kill yourself by doing that? No, you didn't.
Join or die.
Here we go.
Okay, so we're in a relatively good position right now. We just need to not die. Which is a lot harder than it seems. Damn it. I definitely don't want to have to kill that with my 3-1, so I may have to assassinate it. Oh, that's not a decision I want to make. Because then I can't develop another minion. But I can't develop another minion no matter what I do.
The gates are open.
Here we go.
I'll do this, setting up for 6 damage to it. Here's hoping they brawl. This survives, or this survives, and this dies summoning a 4/4, and then it's like, yo, fuck you. You tried to brawl and it didn't work. You brought this upon yourself by killing my 4/1.
What
Armor
now?
made to fit.
I must miss. Not okay.
My shield for Argus.
My opponent getting all the health from this armor smith is definitely not okay with me. Gotta take fucking 4 damage to the face. No, it's almost too much. Almost.
Mind if I roll need?
It's not that far off killing me.
For Najata.
Don't you fucking for Najata in my goddamn direction. Do you know who I am? I Najata'd before you ever Najata'd. Don't you goddamn talk to me.
This one?
Nah, it needed a hit. Like, it needed to hit.
Truth is my shield.
Guess I just generate minions, but... Attack, attack, attack. It looks like only 2 damage can get through unless they have specialized removal. Like a silence.
Armor made to fit.
A fight! Count me!
Does this person have a Grim Patron activator? Oh, that's lethal.
Well played.
4 und ein. 4 und ein? Like, as though I mean 4 is a German word. It is not. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. It's 4. I mean, we're at an hour, but let's face it, I would rather not have to edit this into 2 parts. Mostly because I'm doing this very late, and it would require me staying up until the first one has fully uploaded, which would be about 7:30 in the morning. I don't want to do it. Stay up until 7:30 in the morning. I definitely do want to continue making video game content for the internet. I mean, like, that's uncontested. God, I love doing what I do.
Valera versus
Minor Heith.
Your soul shall
Minor
be
Heith.
mine.
Watch.
I don't get you, buddy. I like it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm digging it. Also, this is just pure caffeine because I'm a fucking wild dude and I'll do what I want. So I want a 1-drop so that I can so I can hero power on turn 2 and then 1-drop plus Goblin Auto Barbar, not to float mana on the turn 3. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's the Illyria Windrunner card back, isn't it? Can I see my opponent's card back? Oh. Alright. almost anything they cast is gonna have more health than I can kill with a Goblin Auto Barber initially. Even that, see? Because it'll get buffed. Get buffed on. Bam. I mean, if I did this last turn, it would have been 3-2, Shattered Sun, attack face. I mean, it still wouldn't have been strong.
So many possibilities.
The more they hero power, the happier I am. Takes their health down and means that they're not developing things on board while they're doing it. I mean, if they have a heal in hand, I'm probably really annoyed. Demon Fire, I'm not annoyed about. Slightly annoyed they attack the face, though. Because that's, like, definitively correct to do. Because if I attack it this turn, it goes down to 2-3, it goes back up to 2-4, and then it attacks face, and guess what? The Wicked Knife does fucking nothing, eh, son? There's no way it attacks into this, though.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Oh god, I hope this gets the buff. Fucking hell.
What lurks in the depths?
Here we go.
So close. That was very good, especially considering this is something I do want to bounce back to my hand, so my opponent has to kill this before killing this in order to make sure I don't get extra value from my Dark Iron Skulker. Because just playing it like a 5-mana card at that point to do that damage to the board was totally worth it. Yeah, it was relatively worth it. Being able to do that again and summon the body again. Baby, now that's what I call a pasta primavera. Have you considered playing a card? Oh, back to the hand. Love it. Almost any play they make right now would have to be basically a sacrifice to the gods. Because I would just get to choose to kill it if I wanted to. That's probably why they're making such, like, hesitations. So the sacrifice to the gods play here would be that I Dark Iron Skulk and then attack. Getting out a Clockwork Gnome as well. But the play I kind of want to make is Chewin' Yeti. But Chewin' Yeti would only be played alongside the Clockwork Giant anyway. Sorry, Clockwork Gnome. I mean, my opponent doesn't have that many cards in hand, so they can't actually kind of like flood the board at this point. So I'm completely fine doing this. Let's just poop on him. I mean, I've got to consider the fact that I got any extra value out of this is already a lot more than I should have gotten.
Here we go.
I definitely should have played the Wisp. Yeah. Yeah, I should have played the Wisp. Oops. Let's just hover over oops so that... Oh, cool, Toto knows that I fucked up. Which of these is the one that pops out? It's this one, right? Bam! And hover over this. Yeah, baby. Now that's what I'm talking about. Hopefully I up the volume in this in a little bit of post-editing, because right now on the kind of like volume tracker that I'm using, it's not looking that loud. Of course, because people are sleeping. I do apologize for the fact that this episode had to be recorded at this point, but it was either now or no episode on Monday. So. I probably do not want to take another 7 damage to face, so it's almost certainly going to be Shattered Sun. Unless I want to sprint. No, I definitely want to develop a board.
We must cleanse the Sunwell. Here we go.
Actually attack the face, because there's almost no way that I don't end up producing another dagger next turn. I obviously don't go with Zombie Chow or Wisp, because I don't want to get mental dislocated. Positioning not super important against a Warlock, of course. It's not like I'm playing around Explosive Shot, Cone of Cold, any of those types of things. My opponent has drawn 2 cards on top of me, but not enough. Removal? Yeah, Siphon Soul. I don't want my opponent to be able to free remove any of my minions, but at the same rate. I mean, I can't taunt up right now. So I'm feeling like I probably sprint, hero power, attack face. Yeah.
Push forward.
With my hero power? No, because the reason we attacked last time with our hero power was because we figured we probably weren't going to be in a situation where we couldn't use it the turn after.
Must cleanse the Sunwell. Attack, attack, silence. Whirling Blades, interesting. Here we go.
Your magic shall not save you.
Do you need a blessing?
Well played.
Yeah, they have lethal. Alright, well played. So, 4 and 2. Power Overwhelming from the top deck. And Doomguard. Nothing we really could have done against that. We had no taunts in hand, we had no ability to remove this. I'll be honest, I'd kind of prefer if I lost next match. Just because it would be the faster upload. Does that make me a bad person? God, if we had good, like, I'm not even good. I don't want good internet. I want just a step above literally wrapping, kissing, and wax envelopes, signing all of the packets and sending them off myself. I just want something faster than the speed of basically pigeon communication. Not the IRC client, but the bird. Just anything, even a modicum faster. Oh, right, you've got to watch and learn quest. Watch and learn quest. Question mark. Just a modicum faster than it currently is. Even half a megabit faster than it currently is would be more than 2 times as fast as it currently is. Well, they wouldn't have to coin for the response. Ooh. Interesting, interesting. If they have a 2/3, I mean, like, coin hero power this turn would be horrible unless I ended up Deadly Poison. But then I get to play a Abusive Sergeant, so yeah, I actually make them float their mana on their turn. This is fine. If they have a 3/2 rather than a 2/3, then Goblin Auto Barber will be absolutely fucking astounding for me. This tells my opponent I have a Goblin Auto Barber, right? If they can't play around it, Tanka. Yeah, they can play around it, but I have the Deadly Poison plus Abusive Sergeant, which makes them ping off their own curve. I'll play that
Here
afterwards.
we go.
And since they didn't play anything on turn 1, it's not that likely that they're going to play something on turn 2. Sorry, on turn 3, they're not going to play something and then ping. You know, it's not that likely. Not really anything I can do right now.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Kind of just need to rely on my opponent not getting kind of really lucky here with spell casts. Luckily, they do not have the coin because I had that. So hopefully they only cast one spell, if any. The fact that they're going to use the health on this to trade is just abysmal for me. Because it means that the Stampeding Kodo doesn't just get to remove one of them entirely. Oh, this is unfortunate. Oh. Baby, that's beautiful. I mean, that's the most threatening one. See, that's the more threatening one, but... Well, no, this is the more threatening one, but that's the more threatening one stats-wise.
So many options.
Here we
No, this is definitely correct. Because then I still have a weapon that can kill this. My opponent can't just cast a spell and then hope to fucking remove my Goblin Auto Barber unless they want to remove their own Wild Pyromancer as well, casting 2 spells. Yeah, this is definitely correct. The other play would have left my opponent's 2/1 open to being Stampeding Kodoed, but... I mean,
here we
now I'm the happiest dude of all time. The darkest iron of all time has to be capitalized.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
That's definitely a trade there. Then piloted Shredder. Huh? What? Okay, do I trade 4 of my health at this point? It would take me down to 13, which means that Hero Power, Fireball, Fireball. Do I worry about Hero Power, Fireball, Fireball, or do I just trade across? No, I have to go for the value. I should have played the Direwolf Alpha.
mistakes. Here we go.
Definitely should have played the Direwolf Alpha. I mean, this is better against Flame Strike, because now the Piloted Shredder and the Haunted Creeper leave things on the board. They're no longer spectating me. It's a fair point. Oh, well, they're back. Okay, so... Initially, I make that attack. Okay, just in case it was Vaporize. And I put this here, because this is probably going to get killed by the ping, so it's not what I thought it was. I'm going to put this here, because Flame Strike doesn't clear my board. It summons a 1/1, a 1/1, and the 3/4... Sorry, the 3/5 will survive as the 3/1. Flame Strike top deck? Come on, top deck me.
What to do? What to do?
Have you got it? Don't just horror it. Don't do that to me. So it's not Ice Barrier, it's not Mirror Image. It could be Duplicate, but it might be Ice Block or Spellbender or Counterspell. All of those possible. 553. I have Lethal on the board, using my hero power. And I attack with my dagger last because if that were Ice Block, it would only defend them from 1 point of damage, because Ice Block negates the lethal amount of damage that you take, and then also makes you immune from then on. So if my opponent has, say, 13 health, let's say they have 5 health, right? And I have a 5 attack minion, a 4 attack minion and a 3 attack weapon, and I'm using those for lethal. I don't attack with the weapon first, because then my opponent has 2 health left. I attack with the minion, and then they still have 2 health, because the 4 damage is negated. Whereas if I attack with the 4 damage first, they're set to 1, then I attack with my weapon, and they're still on 1, because my 3 damage is negated. So it's just 1 point of damage, basically, difference that you can push through. Like, this is the most obvious mulligan I've ever had. Except for the fact that I probably should have thrown back the Pilot Shredder. Because I don't have a 3. Coin Haunted Creeper. It's pretty straightforward.
I don't have enough mana.
My hope is that my opponent can only play a 3/2 without Divine Shield or anything like that, so I'm not looking for a shielded Meatbot. My opponent making Reinforced, does that make me Dagger? That might make me Dagger.
Here we go.
Because I kind of want the damage from the Direwolf Alpha to be surprise damage. And since I don't have a 3-drop, my Zombie Chow plus my Direwolf Alpha is probably going to be my 3-drop. Which means that I'll have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I will have 3 damage. So the one I attack with first is my dagger. Consecrate. This is too valuable against. Especially considering... Sorry, this would be too valuable against, so... Okay. I actually should have played the Direwolf Alpha first, just in case that was Repentance. So it's not Penitence, it's not Repentance, it's not... It's not... You know, that spell. Two on this side.
Do you need a blessing?
Well, Consecration is going to Shrek me. Also, this should have gone on this side, like, almost definitely. I knew Consecration could have Shrek'd me last turn, and I played around it, but now, in order to actually have an effectual turn, I have to play into Consecration. Unfortunately, that's the way this goes. That's Avenge, by the way, the secret. It's, if you have 2 minions on the board, well, 2 or more, whenever I kill an opponent's minion, it buffs a friendly minion with +3/+2. I could Cult Master for like super value right now. Yeah. I'll do it. I could have Whirling Blades that in order to refuse using my dagger. But again, this gives me more surprise damage on the board, and I know my opponent doesn't have Consecrate, so this is like a really good turn. If my opponent suddenly turns super aggressive, I can Sunwalker, but I really don't see any possibility in that.
Reporting for duty.
Yo, You might feel a little tingle.
I'll never tell.
It's fair. They do have a secret on the board, so that's not atrocious. So this is going to trigger revenge. I don't have... that person went 3-3. I'm sorry to hear it. I mean, I'm considering possibility of trading. It's either trade or don't trade. Don't trade. No, I need to keep an assassinate for a way, way, way bigger target. Like, there are bigger fish to fry with this assassinate. Could go this for like a super impactful play. Yeah. No, I have enough cards right now. I don't need to worry about that Cult Master anymore. I mean, I've got 3-card advantage and I've still got my sprint in my deck. Stupid. That's not okay. My opponent doesn't have a simple 1-1 to boss this, even though it's a 1-2 that's more valuable in death. They're still paying something to boss this. Yeah. God, Dark Iron Stalker would be so good right now. 7 damage if I wanted to go face. Can I remove the whole board? Hero power 1, 2... No, hero power 1, 2... Drop this. I'm 1 mana short of doing it. It'd have to be hero power, Whirling Blade, Stampeding Kodo. Yeah, I'm definitely 1 mana short of doing it. Well, if I'm going to be 1 mana short of doing it, I may as well just get as close as I can.
Here we go.
Ready, sir.
Justice shall prevail.
I didn't realize that this was going to give my opponent a relatively good Consecrate. I was mostly considering don't play into Mind Control Tech.
Mind if I roll need?
I don't mind. Feel free. Okay.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, I can remove this board really efficiently. And I'm going to.
Here we go.
There's no reason to hero power this turn, rather than just generate that. Wisp isn't going down, obviously, because it would put me over 3 minions. Mind Control Tech suddenly becomes valuable.
Well played.
Well played.
Victory is
Excellent! 6 and 2. 1.5 hours long. Whoops. Why? Why on earth did I have to leave this until this point? Well, because it was a friend's birthday and I've been drinking all weekend. So I didn't have any time to record this where I was super sober. Of course, this isn't drunk, this is just,
Valera versus
this is just a little bit slow.
Watch your...
Mostly because of my bad brain, but also because of a little bit of beer. I do say a little bit, it was more than a little bit, but... eh. Oh, this is a really bad opening hand. Okay, actually, that probably points to something I wanted to say. I really do want to do a few series... Well, few series, I mean a few episodes of something when I'm actually drinking. just in case that's fun. I'll probably edit those a little more highly and definitely edit those when sober. But that'd be like Drunk Stone, The Drinking of Isaac, that kind of stuff. Which would be pretty cool, or pretty fun, or neither. It could also be that, I guess. Jesus, how many watch and learn quests do you have, Toto? Yeah, ping is not a viable option right now. Playing a 3-2 would be really good for me.
In the light's name.
Oh, that's really good for me as well. I love it when things are really...
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
I love it when things are really good for me. Okay, so I top-decked my 2-drop and my 3-drop. That's absurd and not okay, but I'm so happy. Like, even trading both of those into an Arcane Nullifier, I'm still fine. If I could coin... Play it though. Please just play it. Bug it and let me play it. Please let me play it. I don't have enough mana. So I want to be able to spread out my good forces. So my powerful minions I want to be like really far away from one another so they don't both get frozen by a Cone of Cold. So that's why I don't put this in the middle, because then I would have to cast like 2 minions before I can get this away from another minion to avoid Cone of Cold. See? Now this is safe from Cone of Cold if you want to hit this. This is a pretty good deck. I'm pretty proud of it, to be completely honest with you. 6 and 2. Oh. Someone must have said bomb. Okay. It's more valuable dead than alive right now.
The gates are open.
I mean, I may as well just play this. Ogre Ninja kind of just floats 1 mana for no reason. Plus, it's better late game because it's got the extra health stat, so a Flame Strike won't kill it. Or rather, a Flame Strike won't kill it with a ping. Also, it can't be killed by Flame Strike and ping because it will still be alive. Because it's in stealth and untargetable by the ping. Probably should have mentioned the second part there. So next turn I would have... I could top deck lethal next turn. And if I don't top deck lethal, I could sprint into lethal. So... Right? Only if I attacked, right? 11, 12... Oh, no. No, I can't. I'm dumb. I can't. I'm 1 damage short if I top decked. Still would have been the damage short though.
Shush! Quiet!
Here we go.
My opponent needs to taunt heavily, which they evidently couldn't do that turn, because you totally fucking do that turn if you can. So they need to taunt heavily and clear a significant amount of my board and hope that the Ogre Ninja misses. It's not that likely. God, that's gonna put it to 7-2. Luckily, I'm not drunk enough for this to be embarrassing. It's really not even drunk, it's just tipsy. But then again, every drunk worth their salt will try and convince you they're not drunk. Well played. I enjoyed that match. 7-2. Why does this episode have to be so long? it's not going to be up by 6 a.m. at this rate, which is... Yeah, needs to render in the next 4 minutes in order to have a chance to be up by that time. So I need to finish it an hour and a half ago in order to have it up, or more or less
You
on
asked
time.
for it. Watch your back.
Yeah, not good enough in the early game. Okay. Depends on what I top deck, but it's almost always going to be Zombie Chow. Just because Zombie Chow gives me flexibility against the 2-3, it hits, I hero power, I hits. And then my opponent has to hero power off their own turn. Well, not off their own turn. It depends if they coin out the 2-3. But yeah, it gives me more versatility in my following plays. Also means if my opponent doesn't do anything this turn, I can just hold on, maybe get a Shattered Sun, and then get the extreme value out of it from the Shattered Sun that I explained earlier in the draft. So my goal is to change the state of everything on this map that I can change the state of. And that's the things that like retain their changed states. So obviously clicking this makes it do that. Oh, it's cool, but it doesn't stay that way. So that's not like a... That's not what I'm looking for. I think I know all of them. I mean, like, that's a changed state. That doesn't do constant change. I can't just make this fall off, right? Can I? No, I'm thinking the bucket in the well down in the same corner in a different game. Sorry, on a different map. I mean, considering I don't have a 2-drop in hand, I definitely go... like that. Like, definitely. Because then if my opponent attacks and pings, they've spent the coin plus the Haunted Creeper plus their first 2 turns in order to remove a Zombie Chow. And then I grab the board with an Ogre Brute.
What to do?
Suddenly it's not looking so bad, is it? The worst play for me would be if they put something like a Direwolf Alpha next to it. Because then they have some comeback plays. This is lovely. This is really good how that worked, actually. Yeah, and then I even have half a dagger left over, which is actually very important, because in the early game, it's very difficult to find a good time to build a dagger, and you can only strike with a dagger once a turn. Obviously, it doesn't have Wind Fury, so having that one dagger there might just be what you need on that one turn. My opponent obviously doesn't have the coin right now, so they can't generate anything that I'm scared of with 5 health.
Drink with me, friend.
Drink with me, friend. I actually want this to hit. Sorry, wait. Did I say I wanted it to hit? I meant I didn't want it to hit. Thank you for that, by the way. Ogre Brute knows best. If you're wondering, Ryan, that seems a lot like a joke that Ratsma told in his GVG Go Face Arena. Yeah, it is. I watched that too. It's dope as fuck. Y'all give credit where credit was due. That's his joke. But then again, it's not exactly the most specific thing. I don't think you could get a pattern on that joke, I guess is what I'm saying. You can't knock this off, can you? No, it just does a huge rocking thing. It doesn't actually fall at any point. That is an unfortunate reality of the situation that we live in. Okay. I mean, like, playing this was still best, even if this does get sent back to hand. Ooh, actually, Fireball. Fireball possibly makes that not worth it. Well, they clearly don't have Fireball or Polymorph, otherwise they... Polymorph they wouldn't have played, whereas Fireball they definitely would have. Right, because you just used Bluegill Frostbolt in order to be a Fireball. So yeah, Polymorph will probably hit this target if anything does. Fireball? Why would you fucking hold the Fireball last turn? That actually doesn't make sense.
Here we go.
Why would you hold a Fireball on that turn? Like, you use your worst removal first? Maybe that's what they were going for? Does make sense. They wouldn't be overkilling. Weird. Chugga, 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 chugga. I don't really care about my weapon right now because I have no other weapon buffs than the one that I'm currently equipped, so...
Here we go.
Ready, sir.
And rather than develop a 1-2 Cogmaster, I'll develop a 1-2 weapon. Even though I can't use it this turn.
The gates are open.
That's getting assassinated. And I put the buff on the 4/4 so that if my opponent has Flame Strike, they can't just Flame Strike and remove everything. This will be a 5/1 afterwards. If I put it on this target, everything would die. So, wide removal, this makes me a little more vulnerable against. Yeah, like that. Whereas single target removal... Sorry. Damn, it makes me vulnerable against both. Only including Blizzard.
The gates are open.
Here we go.
So, if they pinged for my face rather than for this... I fucked up. They wouldn't ping this if they were planning on flame striking, like if they were planning on it being part of what they flame struck. That's why they wouldn't ping this. I was thinking they would ping my face if they were looking for lethal, so I want to play something that blocks charges, because obviously I can't block the spells, so they can still flame strike ping this turn. Which would be like a supreme mistake on my part, having played into that so easily. I didn't get punished by it, but that's definitely a consideration that I should have made.
Don't mess with Tusker.
Are they going to ping this for the 2/1? They are.
Well played.
You know, like 5 points off lethal. I don't think I go for it.
I'll fix you.
Here we go.
Farewell.
I'm too far off lethal to feel good about going for it.
To battle.
But I will play the Chewing Yeti. Because if my opponent does Flame Strike, they still have to ping this and this in order to remove the board. You definitely play that before a Flame Strike. If they have a Flame Strike in hand, why did they not play it earlier? No, they definitely don't have a Flame Strike in hand. Well played. That puts us to 8-2. God damn it. People, start beating me. 2 people did it before you. It's not impossible. If you achieve rank 20 in a season, you'll get that season's special card back. Yeah? Then does it matter after that at all? Oh, make it so there's like steeped monthly rewards, like get to rank 15 and you'll get a pack as well. Get to rank 10 and you'll get a pack and 100 gold, or get to rank 5 and you'll get 4 packs plus the card back. Because otherwise, there's no reason to go past 20 unless you want to go to Legendary.
You asked for it.
Watch
My opinion.
your back.
Luck Free Zone, the mage. Somehow I don't entirely believe them. They got offered mage in the draft. That's already some luck right there.
Hello.
Howdy.
The pleasure is mine.
So I play this, my opponent attacks and pings. They have a 1-2 on board. I play a Direwolf Alpha, they Frostbolt it. That starts going out of control.
So many.
I coin an Auto Barber. They Frostbolt it, this starts going out of control. This is actually my best response right now. And it depends on how fast my opponent wants to play as to whether or not playing that first was correct. Okay. Fair play, fair play. Now, do I want to go with Direwolf Alpha or Hero Power? Direwolf Alpha allows my opponent to get a lot of value out of the Fire Blast attack, but then they have to do it off curve. Nothing makes this survive except for Shattered Sun. Should I be worried about Shattered Sun right now? Possibly. This almost certainly dies if I Dagger Master. I'm gonna go with the Dagger Mastery and attack. Because I can coin a really strong 4 into a really strong 4. So I'm not super scared of my opponent's 3-drop right now. Hey, another person spectating me. Woo! Something about that makes me happy. Cool. Definitely the right play.
Here we go.
Kill this. Coin. Fire the Shredder. So now my opponent actually hitting this is a bad thing for them, right? Because they trade, but then I summon another minion.
Tastingo! Yes!
So sorry. Ouch. That's not good for me. Why? Fucking hell. I can't play any of my cards. How dare you? Hopefully they can't play any of theirs because of the Nerebar Weblord as well. The cost of them removing the Nerebar Weblord would be an attack and a ping, which is the 2 mana that it is making their Battlecry cards more expensive. Duplicate, I'm fine with that. Do I want to play anything that I don't want bounced back to my hand? Or do I flood the board? Flood the board, my opponent had... I had the coin and I used the coin, so my opponent doesn't have the coin, but they could... They could feasibly Blizzard me.
I am ready.
I think playing one big dude is too bad. It's really annoying if this dies and then just puts the big dude back in my hand. It takes too much of my power away. That's probably the card that I would choose to have back in my hand as well. Now I just double trade into that. Lovely. Or maybe not. It's possible that this is stopping my opponent from playing like an Azure Drake, or, you know, just things that I would prefer them not play. Would my opponent flame strike this board? I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Luck free zone. You gonna flame strike my board?
What to do?
Is that the kind of game we're playing? You'd probably definitely Blizzard it. And yes, I realize I said probably definitely. That's fine. Oxymoron is my middle name. Well, not the oxy part, but you know. I make do with what I've got. Anything? Anything worthwhile, I should say, actually, because I don't care if it's anything. Another duplicate. Interesting. That happens first. Very interesting. It's not a duplicate. That's what I've just learnt.
Your magic shall not save you.
Here we go.
Opponent has a lot of health. I don't like it. If they didn't flame strike last turn, I don't think they have a flame strike. I'm not getting that much damage through the face, but you know, that's the cost of keeping the board clear. This is, of course, way over on the left-hand side, so if I want to play anything powerful like the Spiteful Smith, I play it way over the right-hand side. To separate them from the Cone of Cold.
Tastingo! Yes!
I mean, I almost certainly just trade the Spellbreaker. And then I don't want my opponent to kill this with their hero power, so I do that. Attack face. This is good. This is very good. We're more or less in the same position we were last turn, except our opponent is 2 cards down to our 1. Which I'm totally fine with, obviously. The huge value that Stampeding Kodo can get is when it jumps up and snaps down a Gurubashi Berserker, but if a mage is playing a Gurubashi Berserker, they almost always ping it on the first turn, so that it's kind of like 7 mana, 5/6, which isn't that good, but it does continue building if you ignore it.
To do.
One less health.
Time runs out on me.
Bring me steel!
Huh? Excuse me? You just enraged my weapon. Why?
Push forward.
Okay, I will trade the Direwolf Alpha off at this point.
Here we go.
And in order to prevent a charge minion killing me, I'll do that, and then hero power. I didn't have lethal that turn, didn't I? Did I? Sorry.
The gates are open.
My opponent is apparently a master of magics, you know. Casually. Was I actually set well up against an opponent? Yeah, I was. I was set up real well against an opponent flame striking. They needed the spell damage before the Flame Strike. And this is the only spell damage they could cast with 3 mana. They can cast, for 2 mana, the other one. Kobold Geomancer. This one needs to die because the possibility of my opponent nuking my face, I need this dead first.
We must cleanse the Sunwell. Here we go.
I will bop that, just so that it can't kill this and ping that. I want my opponent to at least have to pay their dollar on mage if they're going to do that.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
Didn't end up mattering. I fear the zombie chow actually may cost me more to use than it's worth.
Here we go.
Except for right now. Damn it, if that gave my opponent a zombie chow, and then they used it, like if that was a mirror image, my opponent got a zombie chow, I got to trade my Shattered Sun for it, I'd get 5 more health, and I'd feel a lot more secure against the top deck of
Well
Pyroblast
played.
against that.
Well played.
Am I gonna get Pyroblasted? Nope. 9 and 2. The fact that this is going a lot better than the majority of drafts that I've done at better times, it's a little disconcerting, or it means that I always need to play after drinking kind of annoyingly weak Japanese beer. It wasn't weak in the alcohol content, it was just weak in taste. Eek.
Valera versus Uther.
I hope you got a good pack, Damon.
With honor.
Watch
Is that how that's pronounced?
back.
I'm pretty sure that AE is phonetic Latin Damon? I'm pretty sure. If my opponent tries to respond with coin hero power, I can just, you know, use my hero power to kill it. Also, this is really good against the possibility of my opponent using minibot hero power, bang the shield, kill the minibot. Yeah, this is fine by me. I mean, like, out of this, I end up with a reversing switch. I don't even lose any health. I end up with half a dagger and a reversing switch. Crazy! Except I also don't have any plays to follow it up, so that's not that great.
Here we go.
If I had a 3-drop right there, we would be real solid right now, but I didn't. So we aren't. Luckily, Anabar is probably the strongest.
Here we go.
Now, if this gets Blessing of Kings, it has to die to run into this. If this gets Blessing of Kings, this is going to die to my dagger. The only bad thing about it is it means that the Dark Iron Skulker can't hit it and kill it for free.
Let me think.
Which is actually a huge downside. Oh, man. I probably should have mostly worried about the sword. The sword is the worst play my opponent could make for this turn. For me this turn, sorry. They'd have a sword and a 2-3 out. Like, I have no play against that.
Let's move quickly.
Interesting. Definitely interesting.
Here we go.
I mean, that only cost me 1 mana to play. Sending that back to my hand isn't any huge victory for my opponent. That's why I wanted to dagger, because the dagger can't be sent back to my hand either. Blessing of Kings.
You call that?
Dark Iron Dwarf does the trade. Okay. I mean, like, that's just the perfect play against that. If I still had some damage on the field, I would have considered Dark Iron Skulker plus trade, but I think I can get much better value for that later in the game. Dark Iron Skulker is a fucking amazing card. If I could, I'd just, like, draft 30 Dark Iron Skulkers and then Shrek everyone. Except for Enraged decks.
Let me think.
Note, I realistically understand that wouldn't work. I really like the card, okay? It's real powerful. Situationally, of course, but still real powerful. Ooh, you're gonna have to use a 4/4 or something to break that. That's not fun. So that's almost certainly Avenge. How do I play around it?
I wonder.
How can I clear this board?
So many options. Choose soon.
Shit.
Justice shall prevail.
I mean, I guess I just have to play into it.
Here we go.
There was definitely a better way to do that, and I just couldn't think of it fast enough. So I would, like, I don't think there was any way that I could have killed them both at the same time. And that's what would have prevented Avenge from going off. Like, that's the best strat right there for doing it. Obviously, I don't want my opponent to have almost lethal on board. If they had a Consecrate and I didn't do the swap there, they would have had lethal on board. Looks like I'm gonna lose at least 10 health to that. Yeah, I'm probably dead here. Yeah, I can't remove both of them. I can remove one of them, but I still have to use my dagger to do it, which means that I die. No, I don't have to use my dagger to do it.
So many.
What lurks?
Please get a taunt. I need you to be a taunt. That's not good. So I definitely don't play the zombie chow right now. You know what? Fuck it.
Here we
YOLO.
go.
I obviously don't have the face damage in my deck. I don't have Sinister Strike. I don't have Eviscerate. I don't have, you know, any of the Tinker's Sharpsword Oil. I don't have any of the big kind of like fuck your face cards. This does a total of 4 damage to that, but it also removes this and debuffs this from a 5/3 to a 4/1. I feel like the only way that I'm going to win is if my opponent suddenly has no more cards, and if I do go only face. They have to have a taunt, right? Right? Right?
I must move quickly.
Okay, was not expecting that.
Squire, attend.
Ready, sir.
Here we
Fuck your face. That's the only way I think I can win right now. Fuck their face into the dirt. I don't mind if I don't win. I mean, again, looking at my non-existent watch. I used to not wear a watch, right? I want to say in early high school, I just didn't wear a watch. Anytime anyone would ask me for the time or like what day something's on, I'd check. Oh, look, it's a funny joke. I don't have a watch, but I'm checking my watch, and then I give them the accurate reading because I already remember the time, and I just like project it forwards, right? You know, it was fun. I liked it. It was a cool little. It wasn't really cool. It was just a weird little joke. Then I got a watch, and now that's ruined because I'll look at my wrist. I won't actually look at the watch. I'll just look at my wrist, and I'll think about the time, and then I'll respond it to them, and they'll go, yeah, yeah, that's how that should have worked. No. Praise me, damn it. I didn't actually look at my watch. I mean, I can't kill this at this point.
Here we go.
None of my top decks actually win the game, so I do have to go face.
If you insist.
Fuck it. Half measure. That's such a severe half measure. Just for the fact that this means that Truce of a Champion won't kill me, Hammer of Wrath won't kill me, Consecrate won't kill me. Consecrate wouldn't have killed me previously, but Hammer of Wrath and Truce of a Champion would, right? 3 and 4 damage would have been able to kill me if I left the 2/2 on field. But this means I need to get through that health when I need 2 more damage, right? Basically, is what this means. I also need them not to have a taunt, not to have a heal. So many different things.
Up. Portals online.
I've almost certainly lost. I know that much.
It's time for a little blood.
I think my opponent would have traded his 2/2 into mine.
I wonder.
Yeah. The only amount of damage in this hand that is instantly inflicted is the Goblin Auto Barber. I can't even kill this and try and hope for some sort of miracle spare part that does 6 damage to face. Well played.
Here we go.
Concede. 9 and 3, you know what? I'm very pleased with that. I'm not pleased with the fact that this took 2 hours to do because now it's not going to be up in time, but it's up, at least. $11.65. I was hoping for more gold and less golden snow chugger, but you know, I guess I'll deal. All right, give me something worth having. Another snow chugger. You know what? I really wanted a snow chugger because I don't have too many of those already. I do. I was lying. Disenchant extra cards. That's yeah, that's an extra Sylvanas. I got that from a Watch and Learn pack. And then the extra card that I want to DE is the Golden Snow Chugger, because as you all know, I hate gold. Alright, that's it. We're done. Yeah, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Hearthstone Arena. The name of the deck has been Skulk. Dark Iron Skulker. Probably Skulker. I just liked the Skulker plays in that deck. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself. If you have, please click like. It does help me get my content out to new people. There's also a playlist in the description down below with all of my content on Arena. On Hearthstone, past, present, and future, including my Arena, Ranked, Adventures, and Tavern Brawl play. And hopefully we'll see you next time. I stumbled over that way too much.